depressions, and mental health. Statistically, 20% of the people with major depressive disorder develop psychotic symptoms. 350 million people worldwide who suffer from depression. That's 5% of the world population. 16 million adults in US who at least one major depressive episode yearly, and it's on a high rise. Approximately 500 to 600 million of people in the United States are homeless. There are about 100 million to 1.6 billion people around the world are homeless. Sadness and grief are normal human emotions. We all have those feelings from time to time, but they usually go away within a few days. Major depression is something more. It's a period of overwhelming sadness. It involves a loss of interest in things that used to bring pleasure.
Why do we do the work that we do? The World Health Organization identified in the Global Report on Disabilities that 1 billion people in the world experience disabilities. And we know that they can find themselves stigmatized, marginalized, segregated from the rest of societies, misunderstood, feared, somewhat isolated from others, including, sometimes the opportunities to go to school, opportunities to go to work, and to engage in other aspects of society that are open to other people. 98% of us in our lifetime will experience disability. So it is not something that's just for the few or a niche area. It is something that's relevant for all of us, and it's not an altruistic gesture to provide for these people who find themselves with disabilities or mental health disorders. It's something that we need to address for the benefit of all of society and for all of us into our future.
Barriers to getting treatment in mental health, as well as in medicine in general, is the lack of understanding, the lack of knowledge, cultural barriers. In certain cultures, if you said you had a mental health problem, they would laugh at you. What's a mental health problem?
The data suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will be faced with diagnosable mental illness. Part of that is our lifestyles have changed. We're not as active as we are. There are a lot more stressors that we have in our lives. Notwithstanding, employment, where the responsibilities of what we're doing, and just really finding ways to engage ourselves to really invigorate our relationships. And so I'd have to say about 30 years ago, we saw these trends coming, and we have to find ways that we can really help people not only live with mental illnesses, but find ways for them to mitigate it and essentially cure them if we can.
One of the big issues in the United States, and actually around the world, is bullying. Bullying is a major mental health problem. In fact, at times, individuals commit suicide because they can't handle the bullying issue growing up or even older.
There are so many factors that influence mental illness. There are some that are genetic, as others have mentioned. and then that are aggravated by circumstances. And the more stress and the more dysfunctional a family is, and the more people are working and not at home, and the less attention children have at home, the more chance there is to develop a health problem, a mental health problem, and depression. And then of course later in life, some people, if it's a genetic predisposition, you end up having schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. So there's so much going on in society, and the more active a society is, sometimes the more mental illness we have because we have less attention for each other.